This video is on your Raw results, superstar spoilers, and wrestling news. NXT Television is headlined by Bo Dallas versus Colin Cassidy, and semi-main roster talent Alexander Rusev faces Xavier Woods. NXT taped its round of television shows at Full Sail University, Winter Park, Florida. Adrian Neville, Paige, Bo Dallas, and Sami Zayn. More were scheduled to appear. NXT taping had a dark match, Callisto, FKA Samurai Del Sol, defeating El Local. This was probably a dark match, so replays were shown post-match, so it wasn't 100% clear what it was. Episode number 1, Emma over Sasha Banks. Match number 2, Ascension defeated 2 local wrestlers. One of the jobbers was FIP talent, Johnny Vandal. Match number 3, Brodus Clay pins Xavier Woods. Brodus cut a promo saying WWE took everything from him, so now it's time to do the taking. He said he'll start by taking the NXT Championship. Match number 4, Tyler Breeze defeated Yoshitatsu. Match number 5, main event for that show. It was supposedly April the 3rd episode. It was Corey Graves defeated Sami Zayn. April 10th episode, Adam Rose defeats Danny Burch. Bailey defeats Sasha Banks. Mojo Rawley pins the rest of LaForte. Post-match, Brodus came down and attacked LaForte. He called out Neville and backed down when Neville came back to the ring. The segment likely ended there because Neville addressed the fans and said that Bo was going to attempt to occupy NXT. They told the crowd to turn their backs to the ring when Bo tried. Bo came back out and attempted to occupy NXT, but the crowd turned their backs and had none of it. Bo flipped out and threw the mic. Basically had a complete meltdown. NXT General Manager JBL came out and told Bo that he doesn't have another shot at the NXT title. But he does have a match with Justin Gabriel. Bo Dallas defeated Justin Gabriel. The match was super boring. It apparently felt like it dragged on for 10 hours. That concluded that episode. Episode number 3 for April 17th. Aiden English pinned Colin Cassidy. English used a handful of tights. Camacho defeated Oliver Gray. The Ascension defeated 2 jobbers. Great Khali over CJ Parker. Parker was crapping on the crowd. So the crowd was happy when Khali came out and killed Parker. Jason Jordan and Ty Dillinger defeated Sawyer Fulton and Baron Corbin. Match number 6, your main event, Adrian Neville defeated Brodus Clay by countout. It appears as though the program will carry on into the next set of tapings. Episode number 4 for April 24th, future episode. Charlotte and Sasha Banks defeated Paige and Emma. Charlotte pinned Paige. Alexander Rusev then defeated Travis Tyler. Match number 3, Tyson Kidd defeated Mason Ryan. Kidd put NXT over after the match. And Tyler Breeze pinned Angelo Dawkins. The Usos and Sami Zayn defeated the Ascension and Corey Graves. And that concluded the NXT tapings and spoilers for April. KFC is teasing on their on Twitter that due to the success of the first commercial, we see a part 2 of the Colt Cabana versus Cliff Domino Thompson commercial that debuted this past week. We noted several weeks back that there was a plan in place for The Miz and Dolph Ziggler to form a new disgruntled tag team. Now there's an idea of Zack Ryder to be thrown into the mix, and he's got his own YouTube account again. It said that Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal for WrestleMania 30 may end up on the pre-show, which seems like a waste for a match that was announced by Hulk Hogan and features top WWE superstars. The Occupy Raw angle with Daniel Bryan last week was done to troll the fans who claimed that they were hijacking Raw in Chicago the week before. Some of the Stephanie McMahon lines in the segment about disrespecting her family and how she owns Bryan were said to be more or less how she really feels about CM Punk right now. In the video, in the link that I'm posting, the Usos confront Ricardo Rodriguez about rumors of Ricardo working with 3MB. And again, that link. In the video, Ricardo interviews the New Age Outlaws. In this next video link on YouTube, Ricardo is talking about rumors of Ricardo working with the New Age Outlaws. Interview. Rob Van Dam continued to tell fans on Twitter that he will be returning to WWE soon. Probably around the next few weeks or at WrestleMania in the Rumble. That's my guess. He noted before that I noted earlier the former star trainwrecked, real name Gabe Tuck, is partnering with current WWE stars JTT and Ezekiel Jackson for former WWE talent Brian Cage and UK Gladiator star Gemma Palmer for a new fitness website called Body Spartan. The superstars will provide multiple weekly articles that cover everything from fitness, including workouts, nutrition, motivation, and supplements. And you can they now reveal that current TNA star Ethan Carter III is also working on the Body Spartan website too. As Tuck is releasing a Body Spartan book that as soon as I get the details of it, I'll be posting it on my next video. Body Spartan website. I did not get the link, and I'll post that as soon as I get that as well. April 3rd episode of NXT, the Ascension will face a local tag team. One of the competitors was FIP. FIP star Johnny Vandal. Fan in attendance at last night's NXT taping noted that Adam Rose and Paige, whose theme song, were slightly altered. WWE began using Tensai's new name of Jason Albert on the last NXT episode of WWE Network. That I reported last week. It appears Tensai's days of in-ring action are over, so his career in wrestling could be over as well. NOLA.com has an article about Mickie James, and that picture will be posted at the end of my video. As she was at the Mardi Gras in New Orleans this week, participating in Orpheus Lundi Gras Parade. Mickie said that she threw out over 10,000 beads during the parade. And again, the pictures will be at the end of the video. Should be two pictures. Noted before that Mickie is reportedly pregnant and has been telling indie promoters that she can't take bumps right now. The article on NOLA.com also says that Mickie had to cancel her match that was scheduled for the Mid-South Legends Fan Fest on April 4th during WrestleMania 30 weekend, but did not specify why she had to cancel. Mickie also said that she's hoping to attend the WWE Hall of Fame to support Lita in her induction. WWE diva Layla made her in-ring action this past weekend's live event on Friday night in Waco, Texas. Layla teamed with Alicia Fox in Divas tag team action against the duo Natalya and Eva Marie. Layla's return marks her first match since WWE Raw on September 23rd, 2013. The diva was given time off from the company to deal with personal issues. At one point, according to reports, it was believed that she may never return to the ring again. With her return, this opens the door for two potential WWE Diva returns at next Monday's Raw, with both Layla and Naomi available to come back. Mark Henry worked an event over the weekend in Austin, Texas, where he lives, and received a big pop after defeating Damien Sandow. He cut a promo on told fans that the rumors of his retirement are not true. And then he said that he has a lot left in the tank and isn't leaving WWE anytime soon. And Mickie James also recently spoke again to NOLA.com and mentioned that she wanted to make it to the WWE Hall of Fame to see Lita inducted this year. And she had the following to say, "I admire her so much. She really helped me out when I was nobody. I credited her with a lot of my success. She's definitely one of those most overlooked women in the last decade. She wasn't like anybody else. She let people know that it's okay just to be yourself. She totally deserves it, and I couldn't be more happy for her." It's no secret that several traditional pay-per-view providers have been worried about losing WWE's pay-per-view business now that the WWE Network has launched. In-demand officials are reportedly very worried about losing pay-per-view business due to the network and having been thinking of ways to make up for potential losses. They've even been in contact with several indie producers and TV promotions that have never been on pay-per-view before, with the idea of bringing in new content and that would air taped and live in demand. Happy birthday goes to AJ Lee, real name April Jeanette Mendez, turned 27 years old, was born March 19, 1987. Samoa Joe turned 35, was born March 17, 1979. Joe will have plenty of time to enjoy his birthday as the company wrapped up its TV tapings on this past Saturday. It is off until March 28th. The late Adam Tess Martin was born March 17, 1975. He died March 13, 2009, at the age of 33 due to accidental overdose of oxycodone. Former TNA personality Jaime Lollipop Lynne turned 35 years old today. She was born March 17, 1979. Hall of Famer, the Iron Sheik, real name of Hossein Khosrow Ali Vaziri, turned 72 on Saturday, who was been humbling Ronnie since March 15, 1942. Former WWE wrestler. Mark Canterbury turned 50 on Sunday. He was born March 16th. Canterbury wrestled as Henry Godwin in WWE and also worked as outside WWE as Shanghai Pierce in WCW. Steve Armstrong turned 49 on this past Sunday. He was born March 16, 1965. He is the son of the WWE Hall of Famer, Bob Armstrong, and the brother of Road Dogg, WWE referee Scott Armstrong, and the late Brad Armstrong. Former wrestler Kenny Doane, formerly known as Kenny Dykstra, turned 28 on this past Sunday. He was born March 16, 1986, and worked as, like I said, Kenny Dykstra in WWE, WWF, or simply Kenny, with his first squad. Former WWE developmental wrestler and referee Brad DiBiase turned 25 on Sunday. He was born March 16, 1988. He is the son of Hall of Famer, $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, and the brother of former WWE wrestler, soon to be TNA wrestler Ted DiBiase Jr. His in-ring career was derailed by knee injuries, and that resulted in 4 surgeries. A.J. Lee has been the brightest star in the Divas division since she arrived on the scene, and looking forward to seeing her work with some of the most impressive NXT female wrestlers, most notably Paige and Charlotte at some point. Raw took place in San Antonio, Texas, at the AT&T Center. Undertaker was scheduled, but Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman are not. Listed on the live events page, Taker is also advertised for Tuesday's SmackDown taping, though it's not clear whether he will appear on the TV show or not either. John Cena was in talkings with the cast of Trainwrecked that was written by comedian Amy Schumer. The film will be directed by Judd Apatow and is scheduled for July 24, 2015 release. And you can go more to Variety.com on that. So look for him to be starting filming on that. Schumer, who has dated Dolph Ziggler at one time, is slated to star in the film along with Bill Mader and Brie Larson. It looks like a big cast given a list of additional actors who are also in negotiations. WWE website ran a story stating that Daniel Bryan suffered a shoulder injury during the beatdown from Monday with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. That closed Raw, and the story states that the severity of the damage can't be determined until the swelling reduces. And you can go to WWE.com on finding out more on that. Actually, was concerned that Bryan was going to suffer a legitimate injury as he was getting tossed around while being handcuffed by Triple H. That was a hell of an angle, and only one can assume that the shoulder injury will be played up to continue to make him look like an even bigger underdog heading into WrestleMania 30. UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion Ronda Rousey told TMZ that she would be interested in working at WrestleMania 31. The story states that she is only interested in WWE if WWE involves her crew, known as the Four Horsewomen. And you can check out a photo of the group at TMZ.com. I didn't apparently get the pictures. Nobody wants to be the oddities. It's always the Horsemen or the NWO just once. I want to hear about a group that models themselves after Golga, Kurgan, Giant Silva. Anyway, as for Rosé's group, I think I know which one is the Arn Anderson, which should make this happen. And finally, the Superstars taping results. Spoilers. Natalya defeated Alicia Fox with a sharpshooter, match number 1. And R-Truth and Xavier Woods beat Jinder Mahal and Drew McIntyre as Truth pinned McIntyre. Raw from San Antonio, Texas at the AT&T Center. Occupy Raw video package opened the show. Triple H cut a mid-ring promo He said it didn't have to be this way, but now he was going to destroy the Yes Movement. He said he had a couple of things to say to Daniel Bryan, and he would do so face-to-face later in the show. He shifted gears and said they had a hell of a show. Which cues in Batista, who makes his entrance as Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler, and JBL introduced the show, and just under 15,000 fans were in attendance. Batista vented about the possibility of Bryan being added to the main event. He said that he doesn't like the idea of being in a match where he doesn't have to be pinned to lose. What the hell were you thinking? Batista asked. Triple H responded by asking what the hell Batista was thinking, saying that there's not a hope in hell that Bryan will beat him. Randy Orton made his entrance. Orton wasn't happy about the triple threat match. Hunter once again told him that Bryan doesn't stand a chance against him. Has Daniel Bryan really gotten that far inside your head? Triple H said. Batista responded by saying, apparently not as much as he's gotten inside yours. Orton asked for a one-on-one match, even got an ODQ match against Bryan so that he could prove to Hunter that he could do what Batista failed to do last week. Triple H booked the match. Orton said that the people didn't believe in Batista. He said if Batista had lived up to a hype, they wouldn't be in the situation now, and said Batista has fans. Said the fans love Bryan and they are in the spot because Orton sucked. Batista called Bryan a paper champion. Hunter vented that he's sick of the Hollywood stars coming back and telling him that they know more about the business than he does. He also said that he's tired of guys, Orton, who can't win matches without having their hands full. Hunter said that he thinks the old man was right, that you can't trust anyone other than yourself. There's going to be a triple threat match at WrestleMania. He said Hunter announced that if he beats Bryan, the match now becomes Orton versus Batista versus Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. Hunter headed backstage and Orton dropped Batista with an RKO. A shot aired of the Usos backstage. A nice twist that adds more intrigue to the triple threat match. I like that Hunter's character has more to fight for, and that it should drive paranoid Daniel Bryan fans over the edge. I could have done without Orton and Batista tearing each other down. I like that WWE isn't acting oblivious to the way that the fans are rejecting them, but pointing out their flaws isn't helping the situation either. And neither was a law passed for somewhere that requires pro wrestling companies to label their world title holders as paper champions in 2014. A brief video recapping the opening segment. Backstage, Renee Young asked Batista for a comment. Coming back here was a big mistake, he said. I'm out of here. Match number 1, Uso Brothers versus Jack Swagger and Cesaro. The Real Americans in a non-title match. A brief We the People chant broke out. JBL pointed it out and said that the fans love Zeb in Texas. Real Americans took offensive offense to control heading into the break. After the break, Swagger and Cesaro isolated Jimmy Uso in the corner. He eventually caught Cesaro with a kick and made a hot tag to Jay. Later, Swagger pulled Cesaro away from a potential top rope splash. They worked over Swagger, but one of the Uso brothers dove into a big uppercut from Cesaro, who followed up with a neutralizer for the win. The match took 12 minutes 15 seconds. A good tag match. The adult males popped big for Cesaro getting the win. Does this mean we're getting a rematch at WrestleMania? I'm cool with that. And I still want to see Cody Rhodes and Goldust get a meaningful WrestleMania match. That won't happen. The broadcast team set up a video package for WWE Slam City, the company's new animated series. The Divas get a reality show. The men get an animated series. I'll let you decide who gets the better of that deal. A graphic touted the WWE Network. The broadcast team thanked viewers for subscribing to the network and hyped important news regarding the network for later in the show. Likely for another free trial week. Deal ending. Highlights aired from SmackDown of the Shield not following Kane's orders during his match against the Big Show. Thus is your face turn again for the Shield. Backstage, Kane told the Shield that emotions get out of hand on SmackDown, and they all made decisions that could have long-term consequences. Kane said that the Authority has given them a mission, and he needs a united Shield by his side. He said if the Authority can't count on them, they are no longer assets. Kane asked them if he could count on them. Seth Rollins said they are united. Roman Reigns said, believe that. Kane said he believes they will do the right thing when asked or find out how replaceable they are. Well, when he said believe that, I thought he was going to do the old peanut head. Say, believe that, brother. Believe that, player. Said he long, you know. The Hornswoggle walked around ringside handing out party favors for his return and a new look for St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, he got straight hair with a part, and it's a little bit longer. Lawler noted that Hornswoggle's had long hair, but his music plays, which stops Horny in his tracks from the usual high perch. Barrett banged his gavel and said Horny was a real-life leprechaun celebrating. He said most fans will spend the holiday drinking heavily, puking, and doing things that they will regret for the rest of their lives. Sheamus made his entrance wearing a green shirt. Folk said Sheamus would be in action in a St. Patrick's Day showdown after the break. This match was pretty quick. Then they aired a commercial airing for the Bella Twins guest starring on this week's Sight television show, which had like 1 or 2 weeks left, and that series is over. Match number 2, Sheamus with Hornswoggle versus Titus O'Neil. To me, this match was a squash match. The announcer noted Titus, who came out wearing a silly costume for St. Patrick's Day. Is this the Battle Royal? Christian sat in on commentary and announced he is also in the Battle Royal. Christian said JBL can call him skinny or mock him, but JBL looks like David Spade in a fat suit. Nice comment there. Titus had the advantage and decided to throw Hornswoggle in the ring and slap him around a little. He threw Horny over his head, but Sheamus caught him. Hornswoggle low blowed Titus, and then Sheamus hit his forearm to the chest and broke kick for the win. Match at 4 minutes, 15 seconds. After the match, Renee Young entered the ring and interviewed Sheamus, who also announced his entry into the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. It's Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. As Sheamus was leaving, Christian attacked him from behind, kill switch, and Christian then ran into the ring steps and then performed the kill switch on the floor. That's what I call it, the kill switch. Lawler hyped John Cena's response to the Wyatt family as they go to commercial. Hard to hear, we won't be getting Sheamus versus Christian at WrestleMania. I suppose they could still get it there, but right now it looks like it's just a story within the Battle Royal. Arnold Schwarzenegger is hosting Raw next week. Scooby-Doo is also scheduled for an appearance, along with the Mystery Machine that will be on the next week's show. John Cena makes his entrance. He said some people are happy, some are not. So he's always given the fans the best. He's always been honest. And he said he wanted to get something off his chest. I'm afraid of Bray Wyatt, Cena said. He said he's afraid of who Wyatt is and what he stands for. And he fears that the fans are actually listening to Wyatt. Cena said that the object in WWE has always been to get in the ring and prove who is the best. Cena said Wyatt just wants to destroy. He said Wyatt will try to destroy his legacy and everything he stands for. Cena said Wyatt is trying to convince viewers that he's not who he says he is and that he's filled with evil. I say to hell with that. He said, I've been here too long and I've been through too much. Cena said he will fight for everything at WrestleMania 30. At WrestleMania, I will fight for my legacy. As he concluded. Well, Wyatt, founder Eric Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan appeared on the big screen and said children believe everything is good and then they will live long enough to learn everything is alive. Wyatt said his own childhood was all rainbows and butterflies. He said he has a few scars that the world gave to him. He said it was his birthright to have those scars. He seen a chant broke out. And then Wyatt said he could be like Cena. He could sign autographs, kiss babies, and go home to my plastic girlfriend in my castle. He said, that's Cena. Wyatt said he is different than anyone Cena has ever faced. Wyatt said he doesn't care if he dies as long as the world sees Cena the way he does. Split shots aired of Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt as Cole hyped no disqualification match commercial break. Cena promo was actually kind of shocking. It seemed like a bit much, and he was afraid of Wyatt at first, but the explanation was okay. Granted, it feels like there's a missing chapter that escalated things to this point, but it beats the hell out of Cena telling Jimmy Puppet jokes. Ring entrances for Orton versus Daniel Bryan match took place as Khosrow noted that it was Raw, episode number 1086. Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan in a non-title no DQ match. And there was an odd spot early where Bryan stood on the floor and positioned Orton in the ring. He backed up to the barricade, then ran and slid in the ring and drop kicked him. It looked like Bryan was confused when Orton stood up and then had to call an audible. Bryan caught Orton with a suicide dive, but Orton pulled out a kendo stick and struck Bryan with it. At 2 minutes 50 seconds in, Orton dropped Bryan on the announcer table, heading into a commercial break. After the break, Orton remained in control and dropped Bryan out on the barricade. They then ran him like crotch first into the ring post, followed up with a backbreaker from that position, and then came back and threw a series of kicks that led into a 2 count. He went up top, but Orton cut him off. Orton remained on offense, picked up a chair late in the match, but Batista ran in and speared Orton. Bryan hit Batista with a knee to the head to knock him out of the ring, and then covered Orton for the win. Khosrow said that if that scenario happens in the triple threat match at WrestleMania, they will crown a new champion. But first, he has to beat Triple H. After the match, Batista recovered and performed Batista Bomb on Orton, and there was a one more time chat, but Bryan won the match in 14 minutes 30 seconds. A good match. They made Bryan look like an underdog. Yeah, also sold Hope. Hope they haven't gone too far in that casual fans that don't believe Bryan has a chance to beat Triple H, let alone win a title. So I thank the viewers for subscribing to the WWE Network, and then hype that the 1 week free trial has ended this Saturday midnight. He then walked viewers through signing up for the free trial on his laptop, just like in the previous week. I would have laughed my ass off if Khosrow had signed up Charles Sonnen and included his phone number. Khosrow hyped Paul Heyman delivering a message to Undertaker before after the break. Paul Heyman walked onto the stage for a promo. Heyman brought up Undertaker's WrestleMania opponents and said they have been manhandled by Brock Lesnar. Heyman said of a video that initially put over Taker's streak. Then the narrator said Taker now falls himself, falling a victim to the hands of time. The narrator said that Taker's battles are becoming more and more epic, and stated that Taker struggles with his own mortality on the grandest stage. The video shifted to Lesnar and showed him beating up some of Taker's streak opponents. Back live, Heyman said it's uncomfortable truth, but Undertaker's vaunted streak will be conquered by Brock Lesnar. Heyman said it on April 6th at WrestleMania. Taker's streak will rest in peace. Khosrow said that Heyman has made some good points about Taker and Lesnar. Lawler said it's the most uncomfortable he's been with Taker maintaining his streak. JBL said all streaks are meant to be broken. A good segment. Didn't make everything right, but I like the way Taker's aging was brought up, and the way his recent matches were positioned as him struggling on the grand stage. I just wish the broadcast team sounded more genuine and less like they were delivering lines. Backstage, a seething Stephanie McMahon questioned Hunter for wanting to talk to Daniel Bryan. He said he wanted to call him out there like a man and get something off his chest. Steph said she knows he's not being condescending by saying she can't relate to what it's like to be a man. She said Daniel Bryan's spit in the eye of the man legacy. And Stephanie continued to bust Hunter's balls and question what would happen to their family when he's on the road after he wins the WWE World Heavyweight title. She asked if Hunter was even thinking tonight. He said the first time in a long time he might be thinking clearly. He told her to leave it alone and let him take care of it. You better, she said. As he was interrupted, Fandango made his entrance for a match with Goldust. Really good work, Stephanie, and an excellent heel when she actually plays one rather than the shades of gray crap. She had valid points, but she was such a ball buzzer that Hunter actually sympathetic there. Could they be laying the groundwork for post WrestleMania babyface or at least neutral authority figure role for Triple H? Match number 4, Goldust with Cody Rhodes versus Fandango Summer Rae. Summer got stood on the apron early in the match. Goldust did his bit. She acted disturbed by it and fell backwards into Cody's arms. She tried to flirt. Profile said Fandango was in the Battle Royal. Late in the match, Goldust performed an awkward hurricane off the second rope. The ref checked on him afterwards. In the end, Goldust hit the final cut for the win. Cody checked in on Goldust afterwards. Goldust held his side and jerked his hand away from Cody, but then stopped and let Cody raise his hand. And the match took only 5 minutes, 10 seconds. The shot airing Kane walking backstage. Khosrow said the Authority gave the Shield a mission and perhaps they would find out what it is after the break. Everything seems to have cooled off with the Shield breakup. I thought they were building to a triple threat match for the U.S. Championship. I don't know if that will happen now that the WWE title match is a triple threat. As I reported earlier, there was a couple of matches that could be triple threat matches to get more talent into matches. And, of course, they got the 30-man Rumble to add more to it. They have a bigger role than entertaining the Battle Royal. Khosrow hyped that The Undertaker will appear on the main event live, and Khosrow hyped that it is first time ever for The Undertaker on main event. Taker was actually advertised for this event on the WWE website live events page, and there's still an hour to go in the show, but I wonder if plans have changed. Taker was actually advertised for this event on the WWE's website, live events page. There is still an hour to go. I wonder if plans actually changed. Kane made his entrance for the in-ring promo. He said it's a responsibility to execute the vision of the Authority. He said some things don't have a place in the ring, namely the Occupy Raw segment, staged by Daniel Bryan, and then he said it violated several safety codes put place in for the audience. Kane said he investigated and determined that the segment could not have been pulled off alone. He said a Memphis native helped him pull it off. Kane then called for Jerry Lawler to join him in the ring. Lawler said he didn't know why he was being implicated. Kane said he was afraid Lawler was going to pull something like this again. Shield's entrance in when music played. JBL mockingly wished him good luck. Not so proud of yourself now, are you, King? As JBL asked. The Shield surrounded Lawler and then ordered him to get in the ring. Once Lawler was in the ring, Kane said he knew Lawler wasn't in fighting shape and he wouldn't enjoy doing what he would have to do. Well, maybe a little, Kane said. He asked if Lawler had anything to say for himself. Seth Rollins approached Lawler and said he had a feeling that Daniel Bryan wasn't going to save him because the Shield always does what's best for business. As Rollins said, the Shield turned to Kane and then Lawler left the ring. The fans cheered. The Borgasm Yes chants broke out briefly. Kane barked at them to listen to him and said that they don't know about the business. Kane swung and it was quickly roughed up in a 3-on-1 attack. He fought them off momentarily, but Rollins caught him with a kick. Then Reigns speared him, and Kane got back to his feet, and the Shield put him down with a triple powerbomb. The Shield are baby faces, and that's not a bad thing. There's certainly money in keeping the trio together, but the breakup could come at WrestleMania. Rather than going into it, I still fear that they will be stuck in the Battle Royal or in some type of match against Kane and perhaps Luke Harper. And Eric Rowan. And match number 5, Naomi and Cameron, who returned to action, and versus AJ Lee and Tamina. Naomi wore an eye patch over her legitimately injured eye from Oksana's knee. The Bella Twins had in on commentary. Tamina dropped safe knees onto the head of Cameron early, then whipped her leather vest at her. Cameron came back with a devastating drop kick to the waist. Yeah, the waist. Naomi tagged into the match and got a quick count on AJ. Naomi kicked Tamina away. Lee went for the Widowmaker, but Naomi powered out of it and slammed Lee into the mat. Naomi then performed a split-legged moonsault and scored the pin. Yeah, the split-legged moonsault, same one that John Morrison does, Star Champagne. And the match only took 3 minutes 45 seconds out of our lives. After the match, Lee blew up on Tamina, who responded by shoving her to the mat. And Lee seized on the mat. Somehow the protector grew, knew nothing else would happen, and then shifted to a WWE video game spot while Lee sat there. Also hyped the newest member of the WWE Hall of Fame would be revealed after the break. Tamina and Lee have had issues the same week, and Gail Kim and Lady Tapa split up. Conspiracy theorists are going to have a field day on this one. Kevin and Naomi still do the cheerleader bit when they make their entrance, but it does seem like they are establishing their own personalities. For instance, Naomi performs good on high spots, and Cameron throws drop kicks that hits opponents on the waist. Shocking spoiler, it's Mr. T. Oh, that's the spoiler is. It's Mr. T for the Hall of Fame selection. After break, Mr. T was named a member of the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2014. He's going into the celebrity wing. A video package on T was shown. Broadcast team spoke about T's induction, then set up a video that recapped Hulk Hogan announcing the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal for WrestleMania 30. Mick Foley had a great moment in the video when he said that they didn't need Liberace or even Muhammad Ali, but they needed Mr. T at the first WrestleMania. He was a huge celebrity at the time, and his involvement in the tag match main event was very huge. Then we get back to Raw action, match number 6, Mark Henry, Big Show and Big E, and Dolph Ziggler versus Alberto Del Rio, and Damian Sandow, Ryback, and Curtis Axel in an 8-man tag. Only Big Show's entrance was televised, a pop-up promo with Big Show announcing his entry into the Battle Royal as a tribute to the Andre the Giant. Cole said that all 8 men are in the match as well in the Battle Royal, along with Fandango, Christian, Titus O'Neil, and Sheamus. Ryback's right elbow was wrapped heavily. He worked a good portion of the match. Ziggler threw a couple of drop kicks and dropped Ryback to the floor. The other heels teased entering the ring, but fired up Ziggler back up by some of his partners, scared them off, heading into a commercial break. After the break, the braided Ziggler sold for a bit and then performed a tornado DDT on Axel. Sandow tagged in and prevented Ziggler from making the tag initially. Ziggler eventually broke loose and made a hot tag to Big Show. They did the rapid fire finisher bit. It concluded with Show chokeslamming Sandow and pinning. Big Show, Mark Henry, Big E, and Dolph Ziggler defeated Alberto Del Rio, Damian Sandow, Ryback, and Curtis Axel in a 12-minute match. You had to know Sandow was losing the match. I'm not sure what they're doing with him now, but I think they're setting him up for something for him rather than burying him. The live crowds always love the rapid fire matches, finishers at the end of the big tag matches. It's the Colt 45 of pro wrestling. Backstage, Renee Young asked Batista if it was safe to say he didn't quit. He never said he quit. If he quit anything in his life, and I don't care if it's Triple H or Daniel Bryan. I'm leaving WrestleMania with what I came for, but the World Heavyweight Championship, which he said Cole saw hype Bray Wyatt in action next. As they go to commercial, Cole saw hyping Undertaker for the WWE main event. Lawler hyping John Cena versus Luke Harper for Friday's SmackDown TV show. And match number 7, Bray Wyatt with Luke Harper and Eric Rowan in the corner versus Kofi Kingston. As the Wyatt family enters, a video package airing of the Wyatt versus Cena match. Kofi got off to a quick start with a drop kick, but Wyatt cut him down quickly, and Wyatt dominated the remainder of the match and hit Sister Abigail for the win in a 2-minute 55-second match. Cole's all hyping Triple H's face-to-face meeting with Daniel Bryan for after the break. Then set up a trailer for the movie Oculus, an ad for WWE films that says that for Arnold Schwarzenegger and Joe Manganiello hosting Raw airing for next week. My bad, it's just Arnie, but also his Sabotage movie co-star, co-hosting next week. As it goes past the third hour, Triple H stood in the ring and called out Daniel Bryan. Hunter thanked him for coming to the ring. He said it wasn't a popular decision with his circles to come out and talk to Bryan. My feed cut off about right before that point anyways. It was my TV, because it only goes over like 5 to 8 minutes. Hunter thanked him for coming to the ring. He said it wasn't a popular decision with his circles to come out and talk to Bryan. He said he'd be lucky if his wife spoke to him later, but he wanted to look Bryan eye to eye like a man. Triple H said everything he'd done to Bryan was because he believed it was best for business. None of this was personal. This was all about what it is for WWE, he said. Hunter said he wouldn't debate what's right or wrong. He can't expect anyone to understand the burdens of the decision he has to make day in, day out, and regarding what is best for the company. Hunter said Bryan crossed the line last week that he can't come back from. However, he said he is willing to let it be water under the bridge. He said it's as if it was all supposed to happen this way and they were supposed to be in the ring together. He said they would step in the ring together at WrestleMania and fight. He said he wouldn't apologize to Bryan for what he does to him, nor should Bryan apologize to him. You crossed the line, Daniel Bryan, and now I have no choice but to put an end to all of this. As Hunter said, I don't really want to, but I have no choice. Kind of stealing his stepdaddy line, father-in-law. He said he has to put an end to the Yes Movement and the uprising. He said he has to shut it down. And if it means putting Daniel down, then no apologies. That's what I have to do because that's what's best for business. Hunter then said that as a man, he just wanted to look Bryan in the eye, telling him there was no hard feelings. Hunter offered Bryan his hand and said, "May the best man win." Bryan looked to the crowd and shook his head no. Hunter said it's cool. He'd do the same thing, and probably even worse if he was in Bryan's position. Triple H said that he has dumped a ton on Bryan since SummerSlam. He said he has stopped him, put roadblocks in front of him, and yet Bryan is still standing there. The fans started chanting for Daniel Bryan. You know why they say that? Hunter asked. Because they respect you. He said they have seen Bryan go through a mile of crap and he dumped on him. He said anyone else would have taken the ball and went home. The CM Punk chant started up. It was very funny. Hunter told Bryan that if nothing else, he has earned his respect. Stephanie McMahon stormed out and questioned the respect line. She said what Bryan did last week was illegal. She said it endangered her and Hunter's lives, and therefore she is pressing charges. Stephanie had police officers come out and said, "Arrest that man." The cops headed to the ring with Stephanie behind them. Of course, I need to know that they're not real cops. Hunter walked out, confronted Steph off mic. He recalled telling her that he had it covered. Both accused the other of undermining the other's authority. Meanwhile, the cops surrounded Bryan and used Night 6 to put him down and then handcuffed him. Bryan yelled at the cops to let go of him. Hunter and Stephanie smiled at one another. Hunter got back in the ring and told the cops, "Enough. This is not what I want. Let him go," he said. "You guys need to back off. I mean, after all, you're not even real cops." Hunter dismissed the cops, and besides, "I'm really looking forward to doing this myself." Hunter put some boots to handcuff Bryan and then started throwing repeated punches at him while Stephanie cheered him on from ringside. Hunter rolled Bryan to the ring apron and then aggressively threw him to the crowd, which must not have been pleasant for Bryan. Hunter continued his assault at ringside and Bryan into the broadcast table. Bryan fought back momentarily with a kick and a headbutt, but Hunter quickly cut him off and slammed him onto the broadcast table. Bryan cried out and angry, and the fans chanted, "You suck." Hunter ran Bryan into the barricade, and then Stephanie mocked him with, yes, chant. And Triple H slapped Bryan and then threw punches at his head against the barricade. Hunter ran Bryan into the barricade again. Bryan once again threw a kick and a headbutt. But Hunter shut him down again and continued to beat him up. Hunter put Bryan's face in a cooler of water. Well, it looks like they're trying to kill him by drowning him. That was by the timekeeper's area. Eventually, Hunter held Bryan and Stephanie slapped him across the face. Bryan told her that she hits like a girl, which made her throw more slaps. Hunter rammed Bryan's head into the base of the ring. Ouch! Hunter picked up a chair and slammed it onto the ring post, aka where Bryan's head was. Stephanie sold that one with a look of surprise. Then leaned in and smiled sadistically. Stephanie said something to Bryan, but the director was too busy calling for the camera angles to change to catch it. Hunter performed a pedigree on Bryan, and Steph once again did the orgasm routine. Then Hunter and Stephanie kissed. Hunter took the mic and told the fans that it was their ring, their show, and there was no yes movement. Hunter's music played to close the show. Let the record show that you can't choke a guy with a necktie, but you can put his face under water while he's handcuffed. Anyways, this was excellent. Hunter was believable in his babyface tease earlier. And then throughout the setup promo, and then the beatdown was about vicious as you can be in this era of WWE. And Stephanie was awesome in her role, being heel. And I loved Bryan telling her that she hits like a girl, which could be a huge insult to the Stephanie character. And that will conclude my video for Raw this week. Stay tuned for SmackDown coming up. Thanks again. Peace out.